That is 5 wins in a row, LA Kings fans. 13 points between us and the next person down in the Pacific Division. That is the largest divisional lead in the history of the LA Kings. They're on fire, and it is so much fun to watch. So today's game was an afternoon game against the Philadelphia Flyers. We are traditionally awful at playing. Never once have we swept the 2-game series. Our stats are like 2-8-0 in the last 10 games that we've played with them. It's not good. But the Kings this season have been defying expectations every single game. So traditionally, afternoon games, the Kings are a little sluggish and they're not quite awake yet. That was not the case today. The first maybe like 5 minutes even seemed a little even, and that really was only because Martinez got the first penalty of the game. It was killed super easily, nothing to worry about, but that's the only reason that the shot differential was the way it was. Because the Kings pretty much dominated the rest of the first period. They get the first goal, and it's beautiful. So Dwight King gets the kind of semi-breakaway, and he's got Marian Gaborik in the center, and Trevor Lewis is on the other side coming down. I think there's only one, maybe two defensemen there, so it's an uneven attack. The goalie's looking at King. He passes it to the center to Gaborik. He's looking at Gaborik, and Gaborik... That's got to be the most interesting, like, thought process for Gaborik. Like, who do I pick? Do I shoot? Do I pass it to King? Or So he passes it to King, and it just catches the Flyers goalie enough off guard that he's out of position. He doesn't really know what Gaborik's going to do with it, and so he's not prepared for Dwight King to shoot it. So Dwight King has been back in the lineup for 3 games now. He scored in the first game, and he scored in this one. So 2 goals in 3 games for Dwight King. So the second goal of the game came about maybe 10 minutes later. It's a couple minutes before the end of the second period. The Kings are on a power play, and they're setting it up pretty well. You got Lucic and Kopitar kind of battling out on the boards there, and they get the puck out to Muzzin, who gets it to Doughty, who does that slap shot thing that he does, and when he hits it, damn, that's a hard shot. I wouldn't want to be the goaltender that tried to stop that hit. And this goaltender didn't. So that is Drew Doughty's 7th goal of the season. It is his 6th power play goal. I don't know why he's never not on the power play. I mean, he's never really not on the ice when you think about it. He was a huge game changer today. There were a couple of blocks where there was an uneven rush, outnumbered rush, and Doughty's the only one there, and he does this like whole body block thing to take away any kind of pass or shooting lane, and he and Jonathan Quick were the big differences in this game. So the second period, we had a couple of penalty kills. Damn you, Jake Muzzin. And Quick came up big, as he always does. He's been our star player. I can't even count how many games Jonathan Quick has held us in it. So no score in the second period. It's kind of back and forth. The Kings are really doing their thing. But no real scary moments, except for maybe a couple that Quick had handled. So you get to the third period, and another penalty kill. Again, Jake Muzzin. It's cool. He scored his 100th point, by the way, on the assist, 100th regular season point on his assist to Drew Doughty's goal. So I guess I don't hate him too much, but he was in the box for the time that the Flyers scored their first goal, which kind of gave them a little bit more life. They really came out in the third kind of upset with, I guess, what they've been doing the first couple of periods. And they get this goal, and suddenly it's 2-1, and that's a really tight game. And we get down to the last 2 minutes and 47 seconds, and Tanner Pearson gets a penalty. I'm not sure it was really a penalty. I am also not a huge proponent of when someone gets a penalty for whatever and there's someone else that gets the embellishment call. I don't really think that's a coincidental minor that should ever work, because either the guy did the penalty or the other guy embellished on it. But this time, I don't know. I mean, he kind of tripped him a little bit, but nowhere near as... I mean, this Flyers guy, he sold it. I mean, Oscar, kudos to you for selling that as a trip. Nonetheless, Pearson is in the box, 2:47 to go. After the first maybe 30 seconds of that, they pull their goaltender, so it's a 6-on-4 situation. And this is, again, when you want Jonathan Quick as your goaltender and Drew Doughty on the ice 100% of the time. It got super nerve-wracking in Staples Center. Every stoppage in play was just agonizing. Every time they got even a look on goal, we're all just like, oh my gosh, we can't tie this up. It's so close. At one point, there was an icing call, and Daryl Sutter, Tanner Pearson, who I've seen skate his ass down the ice to negate icing, he couldn't even try. He was so out of gas. So they called a timeout, and again, Staples Center is just dying. Eventually, there was a good period, about 30 to 45 seconds, where the Kings just kind of had it skating around their zone, which didn't result in a goal, but it did stop the Flyers from getting theirs, and the seconds are ticking down, and there it is, guys. An LA Kings afternoon game win against the Philadelphia Flyers, and it feels good. We are the top of our game right now. It's so exciting to be watching this season. So I hope you guys tune in for the next recap. It's going to be a good one.